We are back. I'm back, Bill. I'm
Jon,
back at Wise Kracks. Don't call it
back.
a comeback. I've been here for years.
Wow.
But let me say this, because we've had some negative comments about my car podcasting. They're not wrong, Bill. They're not wrong. But listen, guys, I would say this. Sometimes you go through things in life and you get punched in the face a couple times, and I thought showing up was better than just not showing up. And there's been weeks, as you know, I haven't even been able to show up to circumstances out of my control. But I throw myself at the mercy of our viewership. Sorry, guys, but I'm here. I'm back. I like that they even care. I didn't think anyone would notice that I'm not around.
They notice. Jon, Thanksgiving. Now, what do you do, South Point? What do you do? I almost said South Point. I go to South Point like every day. What do you do?
Is that where we should go?
I was going to go there for dinner.
Oh, what are you doing? We want to go where you're going.
I just told my wife, you cannot do this to me. Here, Jon, look at this. Look at this. I said, you can't expect me not to eat these. This is an Oreo cream pie and an apple pie. These are supposed to last. So anyway, these pies just look. Hey, Jon, I'm going to put up this video. I want to make you laugh real quick. I don't know. So, the father, this is growing up Italian. The daughter goes to the father, Dad, what's a charcuterie board? So the father, look at the father. Watch. He said, that's antipasto. What does that mean? A charcuterie board. It's growing up Italian. It's one of the things I follow. I thought it was kind of funny.
I didn't know what that was until 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I never even heard that word.
I have some photos on my phone of when my mom was alive, and she used to make it. I'd always say, Mom, who are you cooking this for? What are we doing with all that? We'd have these these huge, giant antipasto on the table. I mean, Jon, that's the table. I mean, it's like half the table. So she'd have an antipasto for 16 when there was only like 9 of us. Now, I mean, she just, these things, Jon, that are on here, these meats and these cheeses.
Oh, look at you.
You just can't get the olives. You can't get these here. Right? You just can't get them in Vegas. That kind of stuff.
Can I give a shameless plug to a friend of ours?
Sure.
Who has Simply Charcuterie here in Las Vegas? Our friend
you
Trisha.
Told me about this.
Yeah, look at this.
You told me. Oh, they got to be packed. Look at that. Oh, wow. Oh, that's going to be that's a tweet.
All right.
That's an Instagram thing. Yeah. Wow.
I'll send you her stuff.
Yeah, that's over here. That's over in it's over in Summerlin by Red Rock somewhere, right? Across town.
She's in Henderson is where she's located, but they cater all over. They send all over. They deliver, or I think you pick it up. I'm not sure. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but yeah.
So anyway, we have like Marie Callender's here that makes homemade pies. We have Blueberry Hill makes homemade pies. The other place I like to go, you've been to Joe's Stone Crab at the Forum Shops, right?
Yes.
They have this pies. They're peanut butter pie. They're Havana green pie. Pumpkin. I love pumpkin. I like pumpkin pie.
I demolished an entire pumpkin pie over the days.
Really?
With Cool Whip. Vanessa brought it home and I ate it. Yeah, all of it. Like the whole pie I ate.
I don't get it. You guys don't have like an ounce of body fat. And you guys are eating.
No, we do though. I do. I hide it.
Really?
It's hidden. All right. Yeah.
All right.
It's hidden. She doesn't.
So, Jon,
I do.
I was in, as you know, I was in New Haven last week. I did my portion of the podcast. So back in New York, it's amazing. Sometimes I miss the hustle and bustle of the holidays. Like everyone's running around the city. Now, like people are just trying to get home for the holidays and cakes and bags and stuff. And it just reminds me of my youth growing up, and sometimes I miss that, but I don't miss that New York, the New York traffic and stuff, and a lot of the things that are going on back there, crime wise. I don't miss it all.
Did you see? I just saw on Instagram a few different posts about the traffic in LA today for people either leaving town or just coming into town on the 405 freeway. Oh my God, it is insane. I do not miss living. You never lived in, did you? Did you ever live in LA?
Listen,
It's awful.
I was in Santa Monica for a little bit with a buddy of mine. He had a great place though, right on the wall, like overlooking the PCH. It was great.
Oh wow, yeah.
But that's considered LA, I guess, right? And
Yeah,
I've been to
yeah.
Manhattan Beach a lot and stuff. But
yeah.
Yeah. So here's what I want to talk about. Someone told me to watch this show. I want to see if you know what this is. Guys, people said you would love this show called The Penguin. I never heard of it. You?
You're like the fifth person this week to tell me that, and I haven't seen it yet.
A lot of people are telling me that, so maybe someone in the comments can tell us if that's any good. The Penguin. I wanted to ask you about that live.
While we're talking about it, listen, there's a show on Netflix, a series. It's 8 episodes. It's just one season, 8 episodes, called Escape from Dannemora.
Oh,
it's a true story.
I've seen a couple episodes.
And it's with Patricia Arquette.
Yes, yes.
I guess it's a few years old, but now it's on Netflix. It is so good. You have to watch it.
I actually seen a couple episodes when it first came out. I just never got back to it, and I liked it. You know, it was a true story.
Yeah,
so,
it's really good. And then also, I watched last night a movie I'd never seen before. It's a few years old. Whiplash with Miles Teller.
Okay.
He plays a drummer.
I heard of it. Yeah,
incredible.
Wow,
incredible. Yeah,
I like him in the movie War Dogs. Right,
War Dogs. So
I like him in that. Let's get to some football before even Randy comes on here.
Yeah,
because
how about them Cowboys?
Yeah, they
won a game. It's just crazy.
It's funny. The Cowboys.
The game was 3-3 at halftime.
Wow.
3-3 at halftime. It ended up being like 41 to something or whatever.
Yeah.
46 points or something they scored or 36 points or something like that they scored in the fourth quarter between the two.
You know they got hit. They got hit. The Giants got hit. I was pretty surprised. The Cowboys was 34-26 last week, by the way. 35. I just seen it. 34-26 over the Commanders.
Yeah.
Big, by the way. Commanders were only a 10.5-point favorite. So that goes to show you how this NFL, these division games, anything can happen. But I just wanted to tell you that the Giants got hit today. The line was 4, down to 3, and it looks like some money's coming back now on the Cowboys. But the Giants got these teams, anything can happen in this game. To be real blunt, anything can happen in any of these 3 games tomorrow. You have Green Bay, which I actually like Green Bay. We still have -3 here in town at the South Point. -$1.10. I just think, listen, it doesn't take to be, like I always say, the amazing Kreskin to realize that, this is a hot weather team coming into a cold weather. Not only cold, it's going to be close to 0, which they're used to playing in weather like that. I just think that could mean a lot in the game. Granted, I get it. The Dolphins need the game more than Green Bay. I get that. So the other game also, the dog got money. Chicago was plus 10.5, even 11 here in town, down to 8.5. 8.5 at Circa, I'm seeing here, and some 9s, 9.5s out there still. But oh my God, I cannot believe that. All right, Chicago's playing a little bit tougher lately, but they've lost the games that they haven't. It's not like they've won the games they've been playing, but they did. Ever since that Hail Mary that they had thrown against them with Washington, I think Chicago's season's over, obviously, but this will be the last chance fighting that they're going to have. Yeah. By the way, Randy, before we get Randy on, 4-0 last week. So
was he?
Yes, he has a winning season going on.
Wow.
This season.
Respectable.
Yeah, that is.
Sounds to me like he should have parlayed those 4. That's what I hear. That's when you say that he went 4-0. What I hear is Randy missed out on a 4-teamer. That's what my ears hear. That's what I hear.
Let's bring Randy in to tell him about John's advice. Wow, I might be better off getting advice from that lady that just walked by than John.
Let's bring Randy in. Randy, let me be the first to express my condolences on you missing out on that 14 parlay that you would have hit. I'm sorry.
Randy, do you have us? Of course, you going 4-0 last week. John just says, oh, he better have a 14 parlay. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, if I was Randy, I'd feel like I'm down about $4,000. Oh. Do you feel that, Randy? Do you feel like you lost $4,000?
I feel pretty good. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Hey, yes, happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
and thank you. But by the way, you're right, Randy. Thank you for that. Thank you for our people that watch the show and are following. to all of you guys and girls, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. You know, we are all give a lot of thanks to a lot of things. We're very fortunate in our life and fortunate just to be on to be able to talk to you people. And thank you for watching, following, and subscribing. And your comments, I try to get back to every one of them. May take a couple of weeks, but I get back to everybody. I try to
really?
I go in there and I'll go in there like every 3 weeks and go back through all the comments of all the shows. And
I like that. That's cool. You do that because a lot of people only respond to the haters. And they don't respond to the nice people.
Here's how it works.
So that's good you do that.
I might be wrong about this too. If you're a hater, it's real simple. You get blocked. You get blocked,
right?
And you can't follow the show no more. We don't have to pain you with the burden of watching the show. So a lot of the haters watch. So figure that out.
It's crazy.
Say something bad, you're gone. I'm sorry. That's just the way I feel. I do the same thing. I block and move. Same thing on Twitter. I have no time for that negative stuff. Very rare that I'll get into a spat or a verbal thing with anybody. It's weird how hurting somebody.
It's weird how human behavior is when it comes to that. Do you remember that old joke about Howard Stern back in the day when he had like the regular radio show in New York? They would say the average Howard Stern fan listens to him 7 minutes a day. The average Howard Stern hater listens to him 17 minutes a day.
Oh, wow.
It's weird how that works, right? The haters actually listen longer.
So, Randy, I was talking about tomorrow's card, and Robert's been doing a great job at getting the show out tonight. So I'm sure we can include any plays for tomorrow in there if you have them. But I was talking about tomorrow's card, and I haven't talked to you yet, Randy. You know, we have a -3 here at the South Point in Vegas here on Green Bay. I bet it. I bet -3 a couple times, -110. I just see this hot weather team going into a cold weather team, but there obviously is a professional syndicate team on Miami because the Circa had 3 -15 when the entire world had 3 -20, 25, and even 3.5. So someone hit it. The South Point went back down to 3. Before I get into your plays, is that game involving one of your plays or no?
You're drinking the same Kool-Aid I am. I'm surprised this outfit is on him, but of course it opened 4 at some places, came down to 3, but there's a couple injuries for the Green Bay, but I don't think it's going to matter in this short.
All right. So since I know that now, give us your 3 plays or however many plays. Give us those plays first so I can tweet them out tonight, and then we'll go into the reasons why.
Okay. I have Green Bay -3.
Wow. All right. You can still get it right here. I'm pulling up my screen. -3, -1.14. I see at a couple of places. One place, -3, -15, -3, -1.10. Go ahead. What's next?
Cincinnati -2.5. It's probably up to 3 and some juice or light juice now, but we took Cincinnati -2.5.
-2.5, -20, -2.5, -25. Okay.
And then there's a better one that moved against us is Atlanta +1.5 or +2.
+1.5, pretty solid. Let me just see I always like to see what BetMGM has. +2 at BetMGM. There you go. Okay, so that's your 3.
And then I got a total, a game I'm going to.
Got to be the Denver game.
Night football under 42.5. Browns and Broncos.
Okay, Denver and Cleveland under for a pretty solid 42 on the screen here. 42s across the board. Station, Win, South Point, BetMGM, Pinnacle, Chris. So, okay, so now let's get to the reasons why now.
And one teaser.
You got a teaser? Give us the teaser too.
Now the teaser would be the New Orleans up to 8.5, along with New England up to 8.5.
New England, a buddy of mine just bet New England here in town +3. Okay, so New England +8.5, and the New Orleans Saints, let's see where they are versus the Rams at home, getting 8.5. Okay, there's Randy's picks. Randy,
Bill,
into that.
Bill, wait.
Go ahead.
Can I jump in 1 second on line shopping real quick?
Sure.
Just the importance of it. It's so funny how I never even thought about it until you, obviously, because I'm a rookie when it comes to all this. But I don't know if you saw someone tagged us in a tweet. I can't think of who it was. Someone tagged us in a tweet a couple weeks ago when I mentioned Broncos win the Super Bowl and I'd put $100 on them, 150 to 1. Someone got that same bet down, same week that I did. They got 300 to 1.
Wow. See, so it matters.
It just shows you the importance. Yeah.
Yeah.
You may be able to get I thought it was
you may be able to get 3,000 to 1 now though. But anyway,
John, that was our Bill and I's mutual friend called
T-Bone,
T-Bone.
T-Bone.
right? You're right. T-Bone, and I met T-Bone over at Red Rock. That's right.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I met him a couple times. Yeah, nice
T-Bone's
guy.
He's a maniac. He puts those midnight videos up there. He's got a nice following on Twitter also. So all right. So Randy, first start out with something I want to know. That Denver total. Why do you like that under? It opened up at 40. It got quickly hit to 41. Chris opened up 41. Circa opened up 40. Up to 42. Why do you like that under?
Well, here's one of the reasons I like the total, because these two teams like to run the ball. They both have pretty decent defense, especially the Broncos. I've been to these games the last 3 years at that Bronco stadium. They all go under. I mean, wow. I don't know if it was because Russ Wilson, they had that coach they had before Peyton, a very bad coach, didn't know what he was doing. But these games are usually snooze fest when I've been to them. So it's a little bit of a self thing for me, but I also looked up the numbers and I'm surprised it's getting over action, mainly because, I think it is mainly because of the switch to Winston and giving a little life to Cleveland. Yeah. But I can see these two teams running the ball and this game being an ugly slobber knocker. So I like it under 42.5. The last 4 games I've been to in Denver have been ugly under type games. I don't know if you guys remember when the Broncos played the Colts. I think it was an overtime game, like 15-12. I could see it being one of those style games.
The old slobber knocker. I knew you were going to get that word in there again this season.
But Randy, when you go, especially you're going to a game like that, I feel like you're adding so much stress on the table. I don't know, betting the unders, to me, it's so stressful. I can't do it because I would rather, I don't like being nervous when they're getting close to the goal line. Like, I'd rather be cheering for scoring. What, Bill? Why are you laughing at me, Bill?
Of course you would. Of course. He's nervous.
Under is too stressful.
It mellows out when, I'm in a suite, and then when you're having a couple beers, you mellow out a little bit.
All right.
It's all right.
Randy, you realize he's nervous because he doesn't bet under. That word is not in his vocabulary.
Only on the over for me. Yeah. I'm only an over better.
All right, Randy, give us some reasons for your other games.
So the Green Bay game, kind of the same thing as you. This is Miami is a warm weather team, and you fade them when they're playing at home. Or you go with them when they're playing at home, and you fade them when they're going on the road in these cold situations. Tua's a Hawaiian quarterback, and he hasn't proven that he's been able to play in these type conditions. Along with his team is pretty soft. Green Bay will control the running game here with Jacobs and company like they did last week for a big game for us in the San Fran game. That was one of my bigger bets of the year. Okay. So the last time they played in this situation, Miami, you remember, they got to the end of the third, fourth quarter against Kansas City, and it was pretty much toast. I can see the same thing in this situation against Green Bay.
All right. And did you say you had I'm looking at the Patriots. The Patriots was in a teaser. Let's go to one of your other games, Cincinnati. I think I had that Cincinnati earlier in the week. How about that? Cincinnati -2.5. minus some juice, right?
Yeah, and also remember this week there's 6 teams playing into buys. This isn't one of them. Denver is one of them, but there's 6 teams playing into buys again, so that'll be the last of the buys. But Cincinnati's coming off a bye here. Pittsburgh coming off a tough loss in an entertaining game here against Cleveland on a Thursday night. This is their first meeting with these two teams. And I think Cincinnati's going to get right in this game. They're hanging on to slim playoff hopes here. And they get a couple big guys back on the defensive line that should help them against this Pittsburgh running game. We know Cincinnati can score. They've played high variance games, and they've been getting bit by it, late in games. either they're missing field goals or making mistakes. They had the ball in the racket probably about 5 times there in that Charger game that we did lose. I'm going to come back one more time. This is my last hope with this team. If they don't give me the cover, pretty much toast after this, and this will be the last time to come on Cincinnati.
All right, Atlanta. This is a team that I just don't like, but not that. I mean, in general, I'm not nothing against this week. Why do you like Atlanta this week versus the Chargers?
Yeah, I don't like their coach that much. He's a second time trying to be a coach. He was an intern before, not the brightest coach, but I think after they're coming off a bye as well, and they get about 4 guys back on defense. And if you saw that Denver game, they got picked apart. Their defense got picked apart in that game. The Chargers coming off the physical game on Monday Night Football against the Ravens. I like to bet against teams the short week, along with playing a physical team like the Ravens. If you play the Ravens, you play Philadelphia, you play Detroit, you're in for a hard-hitting game. And usually in the next week, you see the effects of these teams. And I can see Atlanta having too much offense here for the LA Chargers and coming out of the bye with a win here for the Dirty Birds.
BetMGM has a 2. 1.5 out here at the South Point stations, a couple other places, but the BetMGM, the best line there. And then you had your teaser, right? Your teaser was the next one?
Yeah, I have New Orleans at home against the Rams up to 8.5.
Yep.
Rams also, they played Philadelphia last week, and this Saints team's, they're still hanging in there. They still have division hopes. If Atlanta loses, they can still get in there. And of course, Tampa Bay's in the mix there. And even Carolina, how bad they got us to cover last week. They're in there as well. And then this New England team is very competitive. I like the way they've played. They might not win this game, but I can't see them losing by more than 8.5 against that Richardson and the Colts team that just seems like they keep teams in the game.
I can't.
And it looks like a pretty good spot here for the Patriots to have a close game.
Oh, boy, I tell you, that's one of the teams I have lost money on this year. The Bengals and the Colts. I maybe the number 1 and number 2 teams I have lost money on this year. Randy, I want to go into some completely random question. Let me get the current line from BetMGM first. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, not just because we're playing Cincinnati this weekend. Cincinnati, by the way, at home in Cincinnati. The Pittsburgh Steelers, I think I think it might have been Fez or someone said something on a podcast, and I agreed. And I went right to them and I bet them. I got a good number on this. So Pittsburgh Steelers, yeah, you can still get under 10.5 wins on them. So under 10.5, I took $1.40. Under 10.5 wins on the Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers schedule, let's just look up Pittsburgh Steelers schedule. Boy, they got a schedule here. Oh, my God. They got to play, as we know, they have to play the Bengals. They're playing a revenge game after that loss to the Browns in terrible weather. They're playing the Browns Sunday, December 8th. So I'm going to give them that win. But let's say the Bengals win this one. The Browns win the next. I mean, the Bengals win this one. The Steelers win the next one. Then they have the Eagles in Philadelphia, Baltimore in Baltimore. Then they play the Chiefs, even though it's home. Then they play the Bengals again. Like, I don't see this team winning 3 of the next 6 games. They have to win 3 of the next 6 to beat me. So I already like Cincinnati this weekend. Who knows? Anything can happen in the Steelers-Browns game, even though it is going to be a lot of revenge for the Steelers there. And I'm sure they're going to be a little bit of a healthy favorite. As a matter of fact, I can see if they're like 4 points favorite. Let me see what they are. Sometimes I'll find their advanced line up. There is no line. Okay. I figured there would be an advanced line for the following week. Might be a little bit higher than 4.5, 5. But after that, I mean, I love how these sports books, by the way, William Hill, BetMGM, DraftKings, FanDuel, they all put up these season wins every week after the week's up. But I just wanted to know what you thought about that. Do you think Pittsburgh can go 3-3 of their next 6 games? I just think they're a little bit of a fugazi team. I don't think they should be in the position they are. I just didn't know if you had an opinion on that or no.
Yeah, I would agree with your position, and I got to get out my playbook here that I've used for 20 plus years, old Mark Lawrence.
Wow.
Get here.
Okay.
Of
I
course,
remember that.
I've
Yeah.
used that for many years, and that's a good way to find that stuff like you're looking
Schedule.
for.
Yeah.
And I just use it for references. I don't use all his goofy trends and stuff, but that's the way he
I'm not a trend guy.
Yeah.
Even when you were talking about the Denver Bronco trend, I was wondering how far it went back because I don't like trends with different squads. In other words, I'll go back the same season and maybe even half of last season, but I don't like going back years when someone says, this team has beaten this other team 12 of the last 16 years. What?
It means nothing, right?
Who cares? But most people don't think that, John, because you have influencers, you have people in media, sports, but even ex-coaches, ex-athletes, they have nothing to talk about. So they talk about this kind of thing. It means nothing. Trends going back for years means nothing. Now, no one else has ever told me this. Not that it takes you don't have to be a magician to come up with this or tell the future. This is just common sense thing. Yes, and I did see that. But that line on the Pittsburgh game over Cleveland is 6. So someone just
here's a trend, Bill. Here is a trend I would pay attention to. Randy was 4-0 last week. It is crazy for him not to bet a parlay this week. Ride the streak. Respect the streak. Ride the rush, Randy. Let's cash big.
The only thing is that if you believe your team's lines are going to move, then I would okay a parlay. Like if I'm betting, I'm giving away some secret sauce here. If I'm betting a college basketball overnight, all right, I'm going to say it, trying to circumvent limits where they take $500 on the counter overnight. But I know that there's 3 games, they're all lined -2. Well, let's say tomorrow I have a good, strong feeling, I'm pretty good at this, of saying that these games are going to close 3 or even 4. Mathematically, it's okay and even better to parlay a round robin like 2s and 3s on a 3-teamer, because what you're doing, you're actually getting those limits, and you're getting to a bigger limit without moving the line, because they see someone bet a parlay and they say, he's a sucker. But those parlays will be worth a lot more financially tomorrow when I get the best of the line by a point or 2. So that's the only time.
Interesting.
But this NFL market's pretty efficient. I really don't
There is advantage ways to bet parlays, and Bill kind of explained a little bit. There's other ways to do it too. And I've done it too, and as well. And along with correlated sides and totals usually works pretty well.
That was Randy. Wasn't that the greatest time the last 20 years, 25 years ago? Now what Randy's saying, like, you'll take a team. Let's just pull up a college football game real quick, guys. Sorry, I'm going to my screen here. Okay, Nebraska. No, I can't pick up that one. There's really no big spread. All right, Mississippi's playing Mississippi State. So Mississippi playing Mississippi State. So they're -15 on the first half. There's a couple -14 last, and the over's 31.5. So if you bet the favorite and the over, if your sports book takes a first half parlay -15 over 31.5, it's very strong, because if they cover the 15, chances are it's going to go over the 31.5. So I believe that's what you were saying anyway, Randy. The old days, the software always took it, and boy, there were some great parlays coming back in our favor when some of the sports books just took those type of bets. Randy, you remember when some of the sports books used to take the hockey parlays -1.5 goals over 5? Oh my God!
Absolutely, I used to do those all the time. Along with baseball, I used to do run line and over, run line and under.
Run line and over, run line and under. There's sports books that won't even take baseball parlays. Now, if you go, like let's say Boston Red Sox at home, and you're betting Boston and under 7.5 runs or something, they get upset and say, you're betting a correlated parlay, a home team and under. It's because obviously if the home team's winning, they don't get the extra 3 at bats. And some of the sports books won't take that, but that's not as strong as the two that Randy and I were just talking about from the old days. That's for sure. Anyway, so all right, Randy, you gave us some nice picks there. We were talking about some other things before you came on. Randy, let me ask you, anything going on there in Colorado bonus wise, because I'll tell you, someone just sent me this text. Now, this is brand new to me, Randy. In the last hour, someone just sent me this and said, Bill, there's a really good opportunity here. Let me pull this up. My God, I'm going to read it to you. If you bet 10,000 cumulatively, all right, you get 24. If you could see that, you could bet 10,000, you get 2,400. Bet 2,500, you get 900. This is a cumulative bets. So if you bet $10,000, you get $2,400. It says in bonus bets. So you get 2,400 in bonus bets. Bet 2,500, you get 900 in bonus bets. So that William Hill just sent that to a buddy of mine today in the last hour. Any kind of good bonuses or anything going on for the sports books, or am I right? Like what I say on a lot of my shows, a lot of this stuff dried up. Do you agree, Randy?
Yeah, some of it's dried up. They're still doing a few of them still have free bets and that kind of thing, but not, it's 500 or $1,000. The best one is the new one in Colorado is a sports trade. I don't know if you ever met Alex Kane.
Oh yeah, I met him. I met
him, nice young guy. He's kind of in charge of it. For your first week, he'll give you up to $500 bonus if you play with his reduced 104 shop. So that's a good deal.
Sport Trade's giving you a bonus like that? That's amazing because they're already a reduced juice. They're a head-to-head peer market. Am I correct? So
yeah, they'll get you the best line at one, at the best price.
I wish we had that here, man. I wish we had here in Nevada. We can't even get DraftKings and FanDuel here in this town.
I'll take one quick trip over across the dam there to the Hoover.
Yeah,
across the dam.
That's
you got traded your head.
It's actually that's really a good deal. I'm going to have to look on that website. Speaking of which, let's go to our sponsor, which is available everywhere here. HeritageSports.eu. They have reduced juice, minus 108 juice on both sides. They also have the Bitcoin insurance, which is they actually paid 14% on Bitcoin bonuses last month. This is looking at last month. They have a 50% off Black Friday. Pretty interesting that they have this going on too. What it is we're offering 4 reduced juice games to celebrate Black Friday. Take all your money to the mall, it says. So four different games eligible for a promotion. Miami, Ohio, Bowling Green, Utah State, Colorado State, Texas State, South Alabama, East Carolina, and Navy. So they're offering a discount which is actually going to be in the form of wagers placed over the internet, and it's going to be you can go to the site. It's going to be those 4 games. Just to say, I wanted to see what was going to be the totals because I like to play a lot of totals. I'm more of a total guy when it comes to late in the season. Okay, so it's on the side. It's a 50% reduction there. Anyway, they've been in business 30 years, been around a long time. HeritageSports.eu, that's our sponsor. What else, guys? We got anything else going on? Is that it? Anything else to talk about in the world? Randy, where are you going for Thanksgiving? Anywhere?
I'm just going to go to the local casino and have their buffet. They have a big spread. Nothing special, nothing like, mom's cooking back home or being with the family or anything. I'll be with the family for Christmas, but
it's different. Yeah, it's different when I was telling John before, all 3 of us guys have lost our moms. So we know what it's like. The holidays are tough. It's tough on a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's celebratory for a lot of people. It's tough on a lot of people too, man. We, especially like I said, in my family at the beginning, Randy, I was showing some pictures of my mother's antipasta. It's just, it's different now. You realize mom was the glue that held the family together. But, well, listen, good luck to you guys this weekend. Good luck to myself. Good luck to people out there watching. We really thank you for watching. Randy, what do you got to say?
I was going to say, I met 2 fans right before I came on down at the sportsbook. They wanted to meet up and they wanted to say hi. They're both Buchholzes from North Dakota. So they're going to watch.
Oh, nice.
And they said to say hi to you guys.
Well, I tell you, we got a lot of people that watch. People come up to me all day long in the sports books, all day long, that told me, and I'm waiting to hear where they hear me from. They actually watch our podcast. So I'm happy. Yeah. I'm happy they do that.
I never told you, when I went to SEMA, like the car show a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
I parked at MGM to make traffic easier. I parked at MGM and I took the monorail over there. When I'm coming back, I'm with our buddy Brian Hopkins from Hero's Journey podcast, and my buddy Gio, who you know. And this couple gets on the monorail at one of the stops. I was right where the doors open. It comes on, and he goes, love your podcast with Crack. Literally,
wow.
he walked on and literally goes, love your podcast with Crack. I was in shock. Couldn't believe it.
It's funny you say that, John, because I have more couples. This guy, Ralph Bright, and his wife, such nice people. They see me at the South Point. They love watching our podcast too. So we really appreciate it, like I said. Hey, Randy, let me ask you, before we go off air, I got to ask you an opinion. Now, I never laid double digits in the NFL. I don't remember ever doing it in my life. Tomorrow, I'm sorry, not tomorrow, Friday, what do you think about Kansas City versus depleted Las Vegas team, who just their quarterback's gone now? What do you think about that game? Anything at all? And maybe some of a revenge factor from last year or something? Anything on the Kansas City game? Or you're like me. You can't lay 13 points on anything.
I can't do it. In fact, I'd even lean a little bit to the Raiders side. I just, there's very few instances where I can justify laying, double digits. I thought maybe Detroit, maybe this week, but now they're all banged up on defense too.
They're banged up. You see, they went down to 8.5 at Circa a little while ago, Detroit. Wow. I'll tell you that now automatically my brain, when I see an 8.5, I say, oh, who can I tease them with? Because it's the 8.5. My brain works that way automatically, but yet I didn't pull the trigger. So, but anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Happy holidays. We'll see you next week on Wise Kracks.